Hello and welcome to the podcast From Stress to Success Blueprint. And I'm your host, Lolita Guarin. And today's episode 190th. And I hope you enjoyed an amazing interview that I did yesterday with Michelle Hammonds. And it's available on YouTube and Spotify. So you're welcome to go and listen in. We touched on a lot of things, stress related, obviously, but also about business, being successful, burnout, all of those cool things. Um, so today I want to talk about, well, let's just say I'm starting to talk more about more serious issues, not just bandage experiences, what they call it, that has to do with stress and trauma and suffering and all of this, where the true stress coming from. So today I want to talk specifically about lack of trust in other people, lack of trust in good things to happen, lack of trust that things will turn out well, just lack of trust. And I'm starting with this because we are very going through very tumultuous time, and obviously it looks like it doesn't matter which way you're looking at, you can find something very negative in life right now, but you also can find something positive. And trust issues, I'm claustrophobic. And when I read what does that mean, um, it says that claustrophobia can come from lack of trust in other people. And that could be very stressful, can be stressful. And if you're trying to do new venture, if you want to be successful, let's say in a project, if you don't trust that this will turn out well, it's going to be very stressful for you to go that route. If you do not trust your own abilities, if you do not trust your own inner self, your growth, your passion, passion, probably you trust your passion because you just feel passionate about that and there's not much to trust. But if you're not trusting your own abilities that you will be able to carry on and succeed, that will not bring results. Also, especially if you are feeling distrust in other people, that they will not show up for you, they will not do it the way they promised to. And even if somebody gives you a compliment and they say you did a good job, you're like, what is it you want? You have trust issues. So I want to talk about where is this really coming from. It's coming from, yes, I know, you already know what I will say. It's coming from the patterns that you already learned when you're growing up. That's just fact. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying it's good. I'm just explaining this is what it is. When you learned that you cannot trust your environment, you will not trust your environment. If you learn that you should not trust people that especially you love, that it will be very difficult for you to trust anyone in your life. And you will find the reasons how to point it out to yourself that you are right. Because, they said they will be picking that, purple candy for me, and they forgot at the store. So now I'm not going to trust them for the rest of my life. That's just a trigger. Because underneath, there is this feeling that you will be always neglected and left behind. So I'm asking you now to ask yourself, were you someone that could trust those around you when you were growing up? What was the trust in your life when you were growing up? People trustworthy? They gave promises and those promises were came true, or they not? Were there people lying around you? Were there people gaslighting you because this is what's happening and they tell you no, it's not? Then this is how you learn to not trust yourself. Because even if you see there is a thread, you think to yourself, well, probably I'm hallucinating. So I'm just going to go and do it anyway. Or you do not trust that person, but you still go for that because your loyalty holds you no matter how much it hurts, no matter how much you don't trust them, still you have to do it because you feel that you will be excluded from the group and the fear of abandonment really taking over. And then, well, you do things against yourself. And then people tell you, how could you do this? Well, you did that because of your preservation. And you will be doing things that are really against you because out of you want to live. Now you're an adult, you can take care of yourself, but guess what? Those patterns are still going on with you as a child. Okay, so now we're established, and if I have not lost you yet, thank you for still being here. Okay, so we have trust issues. What we're gonna do now to lower that stress, start recording things. And our brain loves proof. It's like a computer, right? It's always going to pay attention to the things that you want to pay attention to. So great, let's just use this to your advantage. Okay, so let's say um you are about to start a new project, or you are applying for a job or something, and let's say applying for a job and you're like, no, I don't trust that it will happen to me. So you know what you can do? You start recording all of those things. Try to remember all of those things that says that you actually got the job before, or that project turned out to be a good one, or you succeeded in somewhere. That's why it's very important for you to have your success list, where you prove it to yourself that you're capable of achieving things. So when your doubt about your own abilities will rise up and you gotta start stressing because you really don't trust yourself and your abilities, this is a reminder for you to read that list and remind yourself that if you did it before, you can do it again. If, let's say, there is something that you have no faith that the project will succeed, or like, I like to do this is a new idea, but probably it's not going to happen. Start reaching all those amazing stories. You just can Google up or chat GPT and say, tell me 5 stories, that someone was successful, they didn't believe in. I think a lot of projects that really starts with an idea of like, that's not going to work. And you do. Maybe not from the first time. That's just how things are. So do not take this personally, but you use this as of, even though I don't know how to do this, but I have a passion, an idea where I want to go. It is possible for me to do this as well because those other people did it. Now, how is it we're going to address not trusting other people? Let them to show themselves through actions. It's a great idea. I say, don't, you know, don't think that, okay, you came up with this, some, bad, not useful patterns, and now you just got messed up for the rest of your life. No, use this crutch. Am I saying it right? Use this as a tool to help you. Okay. Because when you, no, not a crutch. Sorry, English is not my first language. Have you figured this out already? I think it was a time for have a little laugh because all of this conversations could be very stressful. So yeah, crutch. Don't use this as a crutch. Use this as a tool. Okay. So it's good that you have this tendency of not really truly trusting people right from the get-go, because people need to have time to really show themselves. So, but do not just stay isolated because you don't trust people at all. And you're like, no, I'm not gonna trust you no matter what you do. You know, how about you just, whatever you meet someone new, a coworker, a friend, or a new person that, and you don't know should you trust them or not, you just like stay neutral. You're like, oh, I will decide. But then you just have a little note somewhere, and you says, okay, what did they do, and how you reacted, how they made you feel, and just have like a record. So then you can go back to that, and then you can have this whole picture of looking at things and say, you know what, I see this is the pattern that they follow. This is the pattern that I continue doing it. So then when you identify that, then you can change that. And then with time, you will learn more trust in yourself as well. And how? By keeping promises to yourself. Yes. Don't wake up in the morning and say, I'm going to walk around the block today. But then you don't do it. You know what you just did by the end of the day? You broke your own trust. And if you do not trust yourself, it's going to be very difficult for you to manage anything that comes your way, because you don't trust yourself that you will be able to. So start doing small things repeatedly that has to do with yourself in order to build that trust with yourself and your own abilities. I was in the same boat, okay? And sometimes I still am, but now I do not promise myself, I do not give myself promises that I may not actually go through it. So now instead I say, I'm going to work out today, more will be like, I'm going to work out today. No, now I say, I will work out today if I can. And by the end of the day, if I worked out, great. If I did not work out, great. Because you know why? I did not break the trust. I did not break my own promise to myself. I said, maybe. So this is how you come to some peace. I hope this video was helpful. I could talk for hours, as you can tell. I would love to know your opinion about trusting people. Do you trust people? Leave me a comment below and tell me, yes, I am very big on trusting people, or not. Or it could be that you trust people, but do not trust yourself. So I cannot wait to hear what you have to say about that. And if you have not bought my book, Stress Management for Adult Children Alcoholics, and the accompanying journal to that, it's on Amazon. The link is in the description below. And it's definitely can help you, that journal, to really look at the patterns and see, okay, oh my gosh, this is really good. So book a session with me if you like more support on beamazingyou.com. And next week, again on Monday, it will be another interview with another amazing person. So get ready. This is how we're going to do it. Every Monday, there is an interview. And then for the rest of the weeks, it's just going to be my monologue until we get to the point that you, the viewer, will tell me that you need to see more of other people. Until then, I see you soon.